Welcome back to the Beetlejuice My GM Mode series. We're here with yet another episode. It's been a while, but we're back. We're going to get right into the recap of what happened in the last episode and get to catch up with our wrestlers. We have our World Heavyweight Champion and one half of our Raw Tag Team Champions, Trick Williams. That's right, I said we were going to push him to the moon. He's already done it all. 2 episodes into this season, we just drafted him and he's done it. He's done every single accomplishment you can do in Beetlejuice My GM Mode. It is time to whoop that trick. He has a 6-3 record, 1-time world champion, 1-time United States champion, 1-time tag team champion, and 1-time Beetlejuice MVP. Then we have Becky, 2 belts, she can't be stopped. One half of our women's tag team champions and our women's world heavyweight champion. Becky Lynch doesn't have the best record, 14-13, but she's big time Bex. When it comes down to it, title matches, she just wins. 5-time world champion, 2-time tag team champion, and 4-time MVP. She's about to break every record imaginable that a man or a woman can set. She is the man. We have our United States champion, Ilya Dragunov. We tried to push him at the end of Season 1. Didn't really work. It's working now in Season 2. He's heating up. 7-10 record. 1-time World Heavyweight Champion. 2-time United States champion. We have the other half of our Raw Tag Team Champions, Carl Anderson. He hasn't done much, but he's been there. He's been consistent, and he just gets the job done. 15-11 record. 1-time United States champion. 2-time Tag Team champion. We have the other half of our women's tag team champions, Fallon Henley. Not looking great for her. 1-9 record, 1-time tag team champion. It's not good. It's not. 1 win, but it was a title win. But she's not looking good on the season so far. We have Randy Orton, finally, with no titles. He's going into an episode, not a champion. But he's already done so much, except for win the tag titles. Will he do that this episode and do it all? Become a Grand Slam champion or whatever you want to call it. 14-13 record, same as Becky. 3-time world champion, 3-time United States champion, 1-time MVP. Him and Becky have been cooking this season. We have Alexa Bliss, the goddess, with a 11-7 record, 2-time women's world heavyweight champion, 1-time tag team champion, 1-time MVP. Along with Becky and Randy, she's just been cooking so far, season 1 and 2. Then we have Chelsea Green, and I'm going to do it. Chelsea Green! It's cringe every time I do it. 14-10 record, 2-time women's tag team champion. Can she win a women's world title? I don't know. Like Carl Anderson, she's just there. She shows up, she's consistent, and she just does what she has to. We brought her back. Mella is back. Carmella is back on Monday Night Raw. Didn't have a match last episode, but we loved her in Season 1. She's back to be fabulous in Season 2. 7-4 record, 1-time women's world champion, 1-time MVP. Can she add on to that? We have Liv Morgan with a 5-3 record. Really good so far. Start off her first season with us. Can she win some championships, though? We have the newcomer, Jim Neidhart, 2-2 record, 1-time United States champion. I saw the opportunity to sign him. First time ever being on a Beetlejuice series. I had to take the chance. I mean, just look at his goatee. Look at him. He's so silly. We have Noam Dar with a 3-3 record. He started off bad at the start of Season 2. Then him and Tyler Bate went toe-to-toe, and he's turned it around. And our final newcomer from last episode, Cody Rhodes. No matches like Carmella, but he's here. 0-0 record. What can Cody do in my GM mode? We have our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Like Randy, like Becky, like Alexa, like Carmella, they've been cooking. But Roman does not have a positive record. He has the most losses of any wrestler. And it's just not looking too great, but he has accomplishments, though. 11-17 record, 1 world championship, 2 United States championships, 1 tag team title, and 3-time MVP. We have Tiffany Stratton, and it's Tiffy time. Last episode, she finally got some wins, Add some wins onto that record of hers. 3-11 record, 1-time world heavyweight champion, 1-time tag team champion. Can it continue being Tiffy time, and can she stack up more wins and titles? We have Blair Davenport. Last episode, she started getting some wins. 3-5 record, the opposite of Liv Morgan. Can she turn it around? Can she win some championships? Very excited for Blair. Finally, we have Tyler Bate. 0-5 record, just terrible so far for him. Can he get a win this episode? It's sad when you see that big 0 on one of your wrestlers, and it's just, he hasn't won yet, or she. It is time for the Beetlejuice Slapnuts MVP award winners from the last episode, who I considered did the best of last episode. And the male Slapnuts MVP award winner is Jim Neidhart. Came in, new wrestler. It was close. I could have given it to other wrestlers like Trick Williams, Ilya Dragunov. It was real close, but I decided to give it to Jim. He won the United States title. He got a good amount of wins. And you know what? His first episode, he's an MVP. He's just a silly guy. So why not just give it to him? And our female Slapnuts MVP award winner is yet again Becky Lynch. It was close, but at the end of the day, no one did anything better than her. It was similar, but just couldn't really give it to anyone but Becky, and she takes yet another MVP.
There's not a lot of new things for me anymore.
We're starting off by immediately using the Veto Star Power card on NXT to try to give us an advantage, make NXT suffer so they can't use their best wrestlers. And then we're going to use a network special to try to increase our fans so we can try to pass NXT fan-wise. We have Noam Dar versus Tyler Bate, backstage brawl. Noam Dar picks up the win. Rivalry goes up to level 4. Alexa Bliss doing some charity. Blair Davenport and Liv Morgan continuing their rivalry. Who's going to pick up the win? It's Blair. It's been back and forth so far between the two women. Cody Rhodes doing a self-promo. No matches yet. Fallon Henley versus Carmella in her debut match back. Fallon Henley ruins it by picking up a win. Her second win for us so far. Mediocre match. Randy Orton doing some training, trying to get those trophies. Becky Lynch versus Chelsea for the women's title, and Chelsea Green can't get the job done. On to SmackDown. They start off with Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai one-on-one. Shayna Baszler picks up the win, starts a rivalry with Dakota. Indy Hartwell doing a self-promo. Then we have Chuck McWagon, Akira Tozawa versus Kit Wilson and Jake the Snake Roberts. And Kit and Jake the Snake pick up the win. Mediocre match. Then we have Jake Zandu doing a self-promo. Gunther versus Chad Gable one-on-one. And Gunther picks up the win against Chad Gable. Starts a rivalry there. Main event, Kofi Kingston versus Baron Corbin one-on-one, and Kofi Kingston picks up the win. On to NXT, we start off with Stardust versus Josh Briggs, and Stardust picks up the win, continuing the rivalry to level 4. Diesel's cutting a self-promo. We have Dijak versus Cedric Alexander one-on-one. Cedric Alexander picks up the win. Great match. Rivalry goes up to 2. Natalya doing some charity. Then we have triple threat match. Nikita versus Maurice versus Tamina, and Maurice picks up the win. Great match. And then we have Red Monsoon calling out Diesel. Then main event, Ivar versus Santos tables match, and Santos picks up the win. And we finally have more fans than NXT. They have more trophies, but in my mind, we are first place. We have Chelsea Green happy we kept our promise, gave her a world title match. And then Carmella, she's upset. She wants another match against Fallon Henley, and she gets it. We use the pre-match physio card. We're going to use it on Ilya Dragunov, just so he can get involved. He is our United States champion. We start off with Randy versus Trick versus Cody for the World Heavyweight title. Cody in his debut loses as Trick Williams retains his title, continues the rivalry with Randy Orton. Tiffany Stratton calls out Becky Lynch. Jim Neidhart versus Roman Reigns, tabled match, and the Tribal Chief finally gets a win after all those losses. The rivalry goes up to 3, though. Liv Morgan doing a self-promo. We have Alexa Bliss versus Fallon Henley versus Carmella, keeping the promise, but it doesn't matter. Fallon Henley picks up the win. That's 3 wins for her now. Chelsea Green doing some charity. We have Ilya Dragunov versus Carl Anderson in a last-man standing match. Carl Anderson wins with no injuries. That's what matters. On to SmackDown. They continue Gunther versus Chad Gable to open it up, and this time Chad Gable beats Gunther in a good match. Rivalry grows to 2. Shayna Baszler calls out Dakota Kai after that match. Chuck McWagon versus Wade Barrett one-on-one, and Wade Barrett picks up the win against Chuck. Mediocre match, starts a rivalry. Then Dakota Kai cuts a promo. We have tag team action, Veer and Kit versus Jake and Akira Tozawa. And Jake and Akira Tozawa pick up the win in an okay match. Starts a rivalry. Indy Hartwell doing some charity. Baron Corbin versus Kofi Kingston versus Jake the Snake Roberts in the main event. And Baron Corbin picks up the win. NXT starts off with Ivar versus Santos in the opening match. Ivar picks up the win, avenging his loss to Santos. Rivalry goes to 4. Robert Roode cutting a self-promo. We have Bad Bunny versus Red Monsoon. That should have been the main event. Bad Bunny picks up the win. Disappointing match, but it's still Bad Bunny. Then we have Diesel calling out Red Monsoon this time. Dijak versus Cedric Alexander again. Dijak picks up the win in a great match. Rivalry grows. Stardust doing a self-promo. Then we have tag team action. as Maurice and Scarlett take on Natalya and Tamina, but Nikita runs in, and Natalya and Tamina pick up the win. And we're still on top. I love that. I love to see it.
Love that shit.
We have Jim Neidhart coming up to us telling us how important he feels he is to Raw, and he wants a pay increase. And I'm just tired of this. It happens so frequently. So many wrestlers want a pay increase, and it's like some of them aren't even that good for us. But it's all right. Jim's a legend. We'll just accept it. And Tyler Bate wants to team up with Jim. We just gave him the money. We learned from season 1. Give him the money. Make them happy. Tyler Bate wants to team with him. He gets it. We start off with the tag titles on the line. Trick and Carl defend against Tyler and Jim, and Trick and Carl defend their tag titles. Jim said he was important. We gave him an opportunity to prove it, and he didn't. Ilya calls out Carl after. Cody Rhodes makes his debut against Randy Orton. He picks up a win in his first match, in a mediocre match. Carmella doing self-promo. Then we have Chelsea Green versus Liv versus Blair, sprinkling a little Chelsea Green in this rivalry, and Chelsea Green picks up the win in an okay match. Then we have Tiffany Stratton doing some training. We have main event Alexa Bliss versus Fallon Henley, Extreme Rules, and Alexa Bliss picks up the win. SmackDown opens up with Chad Gable versus Jake the Snake Roberts in a backstage brawl. Jake the Snake Roberts picks up the win in a great match. Then we have Wade Barrett calling out Chuck. Rivalry goes up to level 2. Then we have tag team action, Veer and Kit Wilson versus Akira Tozawa and Jake continuing the rivalry. Akira Tozawa and Jake pick up the win. Rivalry goes up to level 2. Okay match. Chuck McWagon cuts a self-promo. Embarrassing. Goes down to pop. Kofi Kingston, Baron Corbin going one-on-one again, continuing their rivalry. Kofi Kingston picks up the win. Rivalry goes up to level 3. Gunther doing some charity. That's why he didn't wrestle Chad Gable. Tag team action, Bayley and Dakota versus Shayna and Indy Hartwell. Bayley and Dakota pick up the win. NXT opens up with Humberto defending the NXT title against Josh Briggs, and we have a new NXT champion as Josh Briggs picks up the win in an amazing match. Tamina cutting a self-promo, and then we have Red Monsoon versus Bad Bunny for the second time this episode. Bad Bunny picks up the win yet again, undefeated this episode. Mediocre match though. Scarlett doing some charity. We have Ricochet versus Ivar. No Santos this time for Ivar. It doesn't matter. Ivar still picks up the win in an okay match. Diesel then calls out Red Monsoon. We have tag team action. Dijak and Omos versus Cedric and Santos. Cedric and Santos win, continuing the rivalry. And we still have the fan advantage.
Acknowledge me.
We have Carmella letting us know her contract is running out, and we love ourselves Carmella, so of course we're going to bring her back, especially how great she was last season. Starting off slow this season so far, but I believe she could pick it up. Not only is her contract running up, but we have Cody Rhodes' contract also running up. He's only had one match, but he's the American Nightmare. He is Cody Rhodes. Of course we're bringing him back. He is the cover athlete. We're going to give him the opportunity to become World Heavyweight Champion. Then we have Tyler Bate thanking us for giving him a tag team with Jim. It didn't work out, but he got it. Chelsea Green wants one-on-one with Liv Morgan. She got it. We open up with Ilya defending the United States title against Carl Anderson. We have a new United States champion as Carl Anderson picks up the win in an amazing match. Tiffany Stratton saying it's Tiffy time in a self-promo. Alexa Bliss versus Fallon Henley yet again. Alexa Bliss beating Fallon Henley, does not want her to win any more matches. Rivalry grows. Randy calls out Trick. We have Jim versus Roman versus Cody Rhodes, getting Cody involved as much as possible. And Jim picks up the win, continues the rivalry with Roman Reigns. Carmella doing some charity. Chelsea Green gets a main event in Hell in a Cell against Liv Morgan, what she wanted, and Chelsea Green picks up the win. SmackDown continues Veer and Kit versus Akira Tozawa and Jake. This time Veer and Kit pick up the win, continuing the rivalry to level 3. Good match. Baron Corbin calls out Kofi Kingston, goes to level 4. Wade Barrett faces Chuck after calling him out, and Wade Barrett beats Chuck. Continues their rivalry to level 3. Indy Hartwell doing a self-promo. Jake the Snake moves on to Ridge Holland this time, and Jake the Snake picks up back-to-back wins in a good match this time. Dakota Kai doing a self-promo. Bayley defends the women's title against Shayna Baszler. Extreme Rules in the main event. Shayna Baszler is your new women's champion. NXT has Maurice go toe-to-toe with Nikita in the opening match, and Maurice picks up the win. Good match, continues their rivalry. Tamina back-to-back self-promos. Robert Roode goes against the new NXT champion Josh Briggs, and Josh Briggs picks up the win. Starts a rivalry with Robert Roode there. Diesel does the self-promo. Bad Bunny moves on to Ivar. This is an interesting matchup. Both won 2 matches in a row, and Ivar beats Bad Bunny. The reign of Bad Bunny is over. Red Monsoon calls out Diesel this time. Dijak and Omos versus Cedric and Santos. Rematch from last week. Cedric and Santos win yet again. And we still have the fan advantage, and we get a trophy. That's what we were trying to do. get that trophy, and now we are number 1 finally.
Fuck with me, you not!
We have Teddy Long just being petty, using the bad publicity on us. It's just, why, Teddy? We've done nothing to you. He's trying to steal some of our fans now that we're finally in first place. Teddy, my beef is with William Regal, not you. Please, leave me alone. We have Jim Neidhart letting us know his contract's running out. Listen, he's our first legend, our only legend. We gave him that pay bonus. He's staying. We're going to try to push him. It's just how it is. Tyler Bates, on the other hand, we try to keep as many wrestlers as we can. They're like family, you know? We want them on the roster forever, but he's not having a great season. I don't even know if he has a single win. So we're going to lowball him, try to save some money. If he leaves, he leaves. I'm okay with it, but we got him back, though. Then we have Noam Dar. He's letting us know he hasn't had a match in a while. He wants a match. You got it, Noam Dar. I mean, you basically won your rivalry with Tyler Bate, so why not? Then we have Chelsea Green saying she's happy that we kept our promises. Then we're going to use the Get the Tables card just to get that good pay-per-view bonus. We're going to use the Back Alley Crew on NXT, make them suffer. Don't let them catch up to us at all. And then just like when we started the episode, we're using yet another Veto Star on NXT to make them suffer. Carl Anderson went up a level. We have a choice. We can give him the perk of Specialist bonus class or Bruiser bonus class where he can switch between classes. It doesn't really matter to me. So we give him the Specialist. And we start off our pay-per-view with Roman Reigns versus Jim Neidhart. One-on-one in a tables match. Jim Neidhart picks up the win. Legendary ends the rivalry. That's why we use Get the Tables. Carmella does some charity. We have Noam Dar versus Tyler Bate. End the rivalry. Noam Dar picking... Oh, we talked about Tyler. He picks up the win. Ends the rivalry. Tyler Bates shocked the world. Blair Davenport doing some charity, trying to get as many fans as possible. Alexa Bliss versus Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley picks up the win, completes that rivalry. Amazing match. Cody Rhodes doing some charity. We have Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton for the world title. Can it be Tiffany time? Tiffy time, not Tiffany. Becky picks up the win, ends the rivalry. Amazing match. Carl Anderson doing some charity. Randy Orton versus Trick Williams for the world title. Trick Williams whooped that trick and ended the rivalry. On to SmackDown's pay-per-view. They have Kofi Kingston versus Baron Corbin to end their rivalry, and Baron Corbin picks up the win. Great match. Then we have Indy Hartwell doing a self-promo. Wade Barrett versus Chuck McWagon yet again. Who's going to pick up the win? It's Wade Barrett. Has Chuck won at all? I don't think so. Completes their rivalry. Good match. Jake the Snake Roberts does a self-promo. Veer and Kit versus Akira and Jake to end their rivalry. Veer and Kit pick up the win. Rivalry complete. Great match. Sami Zayn calls out Veer. We haven't seen Sami Zayn in a while. Gunther versus Chad Gable. Does Chad stand a chance? He doesn't. Gunther picks up the win. Rivalry grows. Okay match. Rich Holland calls out Shinsuke. Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler. No title on the line. Iron Women's match. Dakota Kai picks up the win. NXT starts off with Natalya and Tamina defending the tag titles against Maurice and Scarlett. And we have new women's NXT tag champs. Classic rivalry. Red Monsoon calls out Diesel. Ivar versus Bad Bunny. Can Bad Bunny finally beat Ivar? And he can. They both went split apiece. Bad Bunny, great match. Humberto does some training. Then we have Josh Briggs defending the NXT title against Robert Roode. It's not a glorious day because Josh Briggs retains. Amazing match. Nikita calls out Maurice. Ricochet versus Diesel. Why have the build-up for Red Monsoon if you don't have the match here? Diesel picks up the win, though. Then we have Cedric and Santo versus Dijak and Omos to end that rivalry. Cedric and Santos pick up the win. Classic. And we are finally number 1 to end the episode.
I'm the best, man.
We get to the trade offer time. We have Teddy Long offer us Chuck McWagon and Baron Corbin for some money. And I'm petty too, Teddy. Like, I don't like the trade. But after what you did to us, no. No deal, Teddy. As for William Regal and NXT, they offer us Omos and Tamina for Cody Rhodes, and they want money on the side, which is crazy. This trade is just terrible. Why would we give you money for Omos, for Tamina, and give you Cody Rhodes? It just doesn't make sense. So we're going to decline that, because in what world would anyone do that? But they really wanted Cody Rhodes, so they try to knock down $15,000, and the answer is still no, William. Terrible trade. We have William Regal upset we said no to his trades. Also upset we kept on attacking him. Vetoes Trick Williams, which is fine. Trick needed some rest. Triple H lets us know Trick is out for the week. Alexa Bliss has a deal with us. Ooh, the Goddess and the Beetlejuice. You got yourself a deal. Tiffany Stratton, on the other hand, she's upset she's losing all the time. I can't help you with that. It's the end of the episode. We finally get first place. We're on a groove. We're grinding to win it out. I hope you all enjoyed. We're going to get the grand finale because I just felt like this was the best card to get. I love you all. See you next time. Beetlejuice out.